of the conference that will be tomorrow morning, but the final session of today and yesterday. And before giving the floor to His Eminence Cardinal Tagle, let me just very quickly, also for his information, say what we've done. I think this morning someone here, some of the panel, it was Dr. Heck, I think, who said how terrible that think tanks all over the world and opinion, and the opinion in general, didn't read the signs announcing the catastrophes we are seeing. And that was the case for the financial crisis, and again, it's the case for the refugee crisis, which perhaps you see from a different point of view from Asia. But for Europe, we are in the learning process, which is terrible because those who are suffering are the others. So that's the context. In this context, we had a first session on entrepreneurship in the fight against poverty, and then a second panel session about the refugee question. And there were kind of also solo moments, like in an opera, as Thomas Ruche said before. No, but there were some solo arias, very important. Cardinal Pell at the beginning gave us some important ideas on how to approach faith and the economy. Monsignor Celli this morning helped us in the meditation about the Samaritan. Nicolaus von Bohmhardt just gave all his experience about business life, company, leading a company, and taking decisions which are not only compatible but inspired by his personal religious commitment. And we had Professor Bonici, who presented the idea of the Voluntary Solidarity Fund, an idea on which we shall continue discussing, which if it goes ahead, will be something outside the Fondazione Centesimus Annus Pro Pontifice and the Vatican. It is a larger idea in a way, and it could become very important, but it is still in the first stages of discussion. And certainly it is an example of what each of us could do to really change the attitude of the Catholic and the Christian world in terms of solidarity. In the group reports, we are going to distribute widely, but the secretaries have been extremely effective because I've already received both. I'm not going to read them, but I would like to thank Mark de Micoli and what's his name? Casey, yes, sorry, I don't know your first name. We'll use them. They have discussed the fund. They have discussed all the subjects we've had here. We had some quick exchanges and some debate about microcredit, whether it is or whether it is not, and what it does and what it doesn't. So we're going to use this material. It will be put at the disposal of yourselves and many more people on the website and in publications. Now we are after the audience with the Holy Father this morning, which was a high moment because he was, I must say, extraordinarily and surprisingly generous in the way he attended, he listened, and he said, he encouraged each of us one by one. So it was really impressive. And I think this is a very important support and a very important challenge also, let's be clear, because he's also saying very important and challenging things. And so it's not for complacency once again, it is to do more and to be more effective. And that's where we are now, and in a process which will continue, designing perhaps elements of what could be a different model, but it will not be utopian, because we are not utopian people. We are people who are also active in the economy, but we are conscious of the fact that reforms must be courageous at all levels. Now, I would like to introduce His Eminence, doesn't need introduction, but I read he comes from Manila, of course, he is Archbishop of Manila since 2011. I read that in the Synod on the New Evangelization in 2012, he said, quote, "The Church must discover the power of silence. Confronted with the sorrows, doubts, and uncertainties of people, she cannot pretend to give easy solutions. The Church's humility, respectfulness, and silence might reveal more clearly the face of God in Jesus." Now, this is extremely deep and helpful, but still, we would like you to speak. So,
Thank you, Domingo. Good afternoon, buonasera a tutti. Thank you for this kind invitation. And